We were discussing about the module number 1 building planning, which is being introduced in the GTU PDDC second semester in the subject of computer aided civil engineering drawing, that is CSCED. We are going to discuss about the introduction to buildings, classification of buildings, building components, principles of building planning, orientation, and principles of architectural composition. As of now, we have completed the first 2 points, that is introduction to buildings and classification of buildings. These 2 points have been covered in the previous lecture as well, but we will take a quick revision in it itself. So this subject, computer aided civil engineering drawing, which is being introduced into the semester second by the Gujarat Technological University in the PDDC civil engineering. So this is a full-fledged subject into which the teaching scheme says about the 3 lectures and 4 practicals, and the credit are 5. The theory marks are with the ratio of 70 plus 30, and practical marks are also there, 30 and 20. That's why this is called being as a full-fledged GTU subject, whose total marks are 150, in which you are having lectures and practicals both. This is the common syllabus of this CSCED, in which the first module is related to the general introduction to the buildings and building planning. The second chapter is related to the building bylaws. The third module is related to the building drawing, how the building drawing has been done, the general components and layout. The module 4 is related with the perspective views, types of perspective views, software applications in building planning and building drawing for the 2D, 3D model generations, etc. And the module 5 and module 6, these last 2 modules are in concern with the town planning. Why the town planning is important and what are the different factors being considered over there. So these are few of the reference book given in the slides. What are the different type of reference books which can be utilized by the students? Other than this reference book, in the classroom teaching, I have also discussed about it. The tutorials will be shared to you and the assignments as well. So these are the basic course outcomes of this subject which we are having in your syllabus. So today we are going to discuss about the general introduction to the buildings, classification and the component of the buildings. So building planning. As we know, building planning is nothing else but the arrangement of various components or unit of a building in a systematic manner so as to form a meaningful and homogeneous structure to meet its functional purpose. There are the various factors which affects the planning of a building. These are the first most important factor is the function or the purpose, for which purpose this particular building is being constructed or the design. That is the very first factor. The second is the size and shape of the plot. The third factor which is affecting is the topography, also the geology sometimes, that whether higher elevated, lower elevated area is there or plain area is there, or which type of the building is constructed, whether segregated building, multi-story building is constructed, or whether the widely spaced building blocks can be constructed such as in the industries, etc. Then climatic condition is also one of the important factor which affects the planning of building, because in India, as you know, several seasons occurs, and various seasons are changed. The thermal variation is also having a concerning effect on the buildings. Then the last factor which is affecting is building bylaws. Building bylaws may be of the local authority, building bylaws may be of the other regions as well. Then comes the introduction to buildings. So first of all, we need to understand what do we understand by the building or edifice. So it is actually a structure with a roof and walls standing more or less permanently in one place, such as a house or factory, etc. Building come in a variety of the sizes, shapes and functions. So size, shape, function, segregation, aggregation of the building blocks, this is an important part. Building serves the various societal needs. For example, it may be used for what we can say is residential purposes, commercial purposes, okay, mercantile purposes, or the different type of buildings are also there. So a building as a shelter represents a physical division of the human habitat and the outside. So that is what we understand as a building. So this building has been classified into two types. The first is based on the occupancy. What is the occupancy? Means we can have a particular type of building is being constructed or designed for a particular function or a particular purpose, and how it will be occupy a particular space. So that is known as what we can say is the building. So every building or portion of land shall be classified according to the character of its occupancy or the purpose or function which the building is going to be utilized. So they are being characterized into the following types, such as agricultural, commercial, residential, educational, governmental, industrial, military, religious, transport buildings, and then the power plants. So it is based on the buildings. Now different type of the land use color coding is given to the different type of the building. So residential buildings are having a particular FAR, all right, and the number of units are being there. We have already covered the portion in the previous class, so we will not going in that much detail about this particular type of the slides. Okay, educational buildings in which schools, colleges, all right, such type of the buildings and institutional buildings, the category is being provided. Now based on the type of construction, the building is basically classified into five categories. The first is fire resistive buildings, and second is non-combustible buildings. Then third is ordinary buildings, heavy timber buildings, and wood framed buildings. So fire resistive buildings are generally high rise buildings, all right, and they are constructed of concrete, protected steel coated with the fire resistant materials. So these are the categories. The non-combustible buildings are generally the new buildings which are models on the commercial structures. All right, these are of the protected non-combustible and unprotected non-combustible type. Then comes the ordinary building. These ordinary buildings may be of older or the newer constructions. They have non-combustible walls or wooden roofs. Okay. Then heavy timber building, which may be the combustible. Okay, so these buildings were oftenly being constructed in the early 1960s. All right, but nowadays it is being avoided to be constructed. Then wood framed building is there. All right, many modern homes, such type of buildings are being used. The walls and roofs are made of the combustible materials, that is wood, and highly elevated areas also such type of the buildings are being used. Now coming towards the building components. So as you can see in this given figure, from bottom to top you can have different type of what we can say is the components from bottom to top we will see. So the first bottom component is the foundation, that is invisible, also known as the substructure. All right, it is beneath the ground, all right, and beneath the walls as well. Then comes the most important part, that is the plinth, that lies between the floor and the ground. So between the floor and the ground this is being provided. Then comes the DPC, just above the plinth level the DPC is being always there. Damp proof course is there, which lies at the floor level, right below the walls, and not under any openings like doors. It is not provided in any opening, but it is provided at the bottom of the walls. Then of course after this the floor is there, walls are there, sill is there, door, window, lantern, and roof is there. Also water supply and drainage facilities are being provided. So these are basic building components being provided in a building. So foundation is of course there. The foundation is the substructure which used to carry all the superimposed live loads and the dead loads which are occurring in a structure. It is the most important building blocks in the building component. So what are the different type of foundations? As we all know, basically shallow and deep foundations is there. So in the shallow foundations we are having spread footing, strap footing, all right, combined footing and mat footing as well. Then spread footing is for the walls, for the columns. Then for walls, simple stepped or the grillage footing is being provided. And if column is there, then single or stepped or the sloped footing is being provided. The second type of the foundation is deep foundation, that is pile, pier and well type of the foundation. Now we will see in the detail about the spread footing. What do we understand by the spread footing? The particular component of a foundation below a particular building component, for example a wall or a column, is known as the footing. The word is being used along with the foundation as a synonyms many times. So spread footing, so those footing which spread the superimposed load, which may be dead load, all right, so that superimposed load of any wall or column over the larger areas. Okay, so that is spread, the load is being provided. So masonry walls have step footing with the concrete band. So strap footing is there. So this is one type of the strap footing, in which two building components are being joined by one strap, that is strap beam. So in this figure also you can see these two A and B are building components, and these two foundations are being joined by the strap beam. So independent two columns are being there, and these are combined is known as the strap footing. Now comes the combined footing. So what is the combined footing? Means two or more building components such as walls or columns are being present, and a single common footing is provided for it. It is known as the combined footing. So spread footing which supports two or more column is being there. Then comes the grillage foundation is there. So grillage foundation is actually a special type of foundation where heavy loaded steel stanchions are used in these locations where bearing capacity of soil is very poor. So grillage foundation serves two purposes. The first purpose is the superimposed load will be taken by the foundation, and of course that load is used to be transferred into the soil. But in this particular, if soil is poor, then the grillage foundation, what it will be do, it will not only taken up the superimposed load, but also it will dispose all the loads in the beneath the soil, because the soil is having poor bearing capacity. So depth is not more than what we can say is 1 to 1.5 meter only. These foundations are generally used in the industrial footing. Now comes the second most important building component, that is walls. Walls are constructed as load bearing or non-load bearing just to enclose the space. Walls are constructed of masonry, and masonry is nothing else but the construction of the building blocks and the building members, which may be of the bricks, stones or other building blocks as well. Basically, wall is classified in some categories such as bearing wall, non-bearing wall, cavity walls, curtain walls, common walls, partition walls. Step by step we will see all the discussions, all the details of the building. So first of all, the bearing wall is there. So a load bearing wall or simply a bearing wall is the wall which bears a load resting upon it by conducting its weight to a foundation structure. The materials most often used to construct the load bearing walls in large buildings are the concrete blocks or the bricks. So these are the load bearing materials you can see, in which the load is being transferred, and non bearing wall is also being shown here. Non load bearing walls appears only where the loads are carried by other members, and these are just there only. All right, so non load bearing structure is being provided in the walls. Now the cavity wall is there. This is one of the most important concepts nowadays being used even to reduce the thermal effect on the building, in which what is done, there are three type of the components being used. In the figure you can see, on the left hand side the inner wall is there, and on the right hand side in the brown color you can see the outer wall, and in the center some insulation is provided. So in such a way a cavity wall is constructed. So it is consists of two skins separated by a hollow space, that is the cavity. So this insulation is actually the cavity. Cavity means only space is there, means two simple brick walls are being constructed, and these two walls are having some space, and that space is open, that is cavity. So cavity serves as a way to drain this water back out through the water holes. So this is being provided to reduce the thermal effects as well. Now curtain wall is there. So curtain wall system is nothing else but the outer covering system of a building, in which the outer walls are non-structural but merely keep the weather out and the occupants in. As the curtain wall is non-structural, it can be made of a lightweight materials, alright, and reduced construction cost. So even glasses can be used for the curtain walls. Now party or the common wall is also there. Party wall is dividing partition between two adjoining buildings. So two buildings are there and we are going for the partition. So common walls, a single wall, party wall is being there. Now partition wall is the another type, that is a wall for the purpose of separating the rooms. Alright, partition walls are of course non-load bearing walls, and the only purpose is to provide the separation between the rooms. So many a times you have often come across about the partition walls as well. Now another building component is there, column. So what is a column? We will discuss it. Column is actually a compressive member, a vertical member. All right. So column or pillar in architecture or structural engineering is that particular building element that transmits through compression, means the weight of the structure above to the other structural elements below. So column applies especially to a large round support with a capital and base, and may be made of stone or appearing to be so. It may be constructed of the RCC and concrete as well. Alright, so these are the different type of columns. So now plinth. Plinth is that portion which is being provided between the floor and the ground. That portion is there. Of course, plinth is the part of structure between the surrounding ground surface and the floor surface immediately just above the ground. Plinth is provided with the DPC so that the damping may not be a problem there. So damp proof course is being provided. It protects a particular building from the moisture. It prevents entry of rainwater, dust, insects, etc. in the building. So this particular type of plinth filling is being there. You can see the foundation pit is there. Above it some coating is being provided, and at the top plinth stage 3 is there. So that is the plinth filling. Cupboard and shelf, this is also one type of the building component, are built-in items which are being useful services in the building. Cupboards is a type of storage cabinet oftenly made of wood, used indoors to store household objects such as food, crockery, and protect them from dust or dirt. The term cupboard was originally used to describe an open shelved side table for displaying plates, cups, saucers, etc. So these cupboards are also one type of the building component. Then shelf. A shelf is a flat horizontal plane which is used in a home, business, store, or elsewhere to hold items of value that are being displayed, stored, or offered for sale. It can be part of a piece of furniture such as a cabinet, bookcase, some headboards, and so on. They are limited to maximum width of 45 centimeter. So shelves is being there. Shelves are also being embedded in the walls itself. All right. Then we need not to have additional cupboards in it as well. Chhajjas are being there. The component of a building which is placed over the opening to prevent adverse effect of weather on a room. Also the weather sheet. So the purpose of chhajja or sunshade is to prevent direct entry of sunlight into the room to certain extent. Alright, it acts as a barrier to direct entry of the rainwater into the room through the opening. It also adds on to the aesthetic appeal of the building. So this is one type of the chhajja you can see in the figure. Usually it is provided from a height of around 7 feet from the ground level, or even sometimes more than that. If it is made of concrete, it is casted over with lintel monolithically. An equal bearing of 9 inch to 1 feet has to be provided on both the sides of opening. So it may be cast in situ or precast. So thickness of tapers, different thickness from 100 to 75 mm, projections of 30 to 90 centimeters are being provided. So these are the different type of chhajjas you can see. Now lintel. A lintel can be a load-bearing building component, a decorative architectural element, or a combined ornamental structural element as well. So it is often found over portals, doors, windows, and fireplaces. Lintel is always provided. What we can say is the above the doors, above the windows, always being provided just to distribute the load of the building components above that particular level. So brick lintels are sometimes being provided, stone lintels are being provided, RCC lintels are being provided as well. Now roof and slab is also one of the important building component. So roof is nothing else but the exterior surface and its supporting structure on the top of a building. The upper exterior surface of a dwelling is a symbol of the home itself. So these are the different types of roofs. You can see in the figure, gable roof is there, means just a two-sided roof. Then cross gable roof is there. Alright, mansard roof, hip roof, then pyramid hip roof, cross hipped roof, then salt box roof, gambrel roof, flat roof, then bonnet roof, then shed roof. So these are the different type of roofs being used, and the different elements of roofs are being there: vent pipe, valley, ridge, okay, off ridge, hip, all right, flashing, eave. So these are the different elements of a building in a particular roof. Now comes the slab. What is a slab? Slab is one type of beam in itself, but this most commonly used term is slab as per the technical civil engineering point of view. It is a large, thick, flat piece of stone or concrete, typically square or rectangular in shape. It's a covering of building or provide enclosure of building from upper side. Slab is one type of roof called flat roof. It's made up of various materials like concrete, wood, stone, lime, etc. So different type of the buildings are being there. Now one of the more important building component is there, that is stairs, which is being used to lift anybody from one floor to another floor. So stairs, it is comprised of series of steps connected to the different floors of a building. Riser and tread is being provided in the stairs. Alright, so basic stairs are straight, quarter turn, half turn, three-quarter turn, circular, spiral, curved, geometrical, bifurcated stairs. These are being provided. So straight stair is there, quarter turn stair is there, half turn staircase, three-quarter turn. Alright, then circular staircase is there, a spiral staircase is there, curved staircase, bifurcated staircase is being there. So these are the different type of what we can say is the stairs is being used. Now one more building component is there, that is parapet. So a parapet is a barrier which is an extension of the wall at the edge of a roof, terrace, balcony or other structure. What is the main function of the parapet? So it is the safety from falling down, and it also gives the finishing touch to the structure. So this is simply the parapet, so that anybody is safe within the vicinity of the roof. Now the another important building component is doors and windows is being there. from this particular topic we will discuss in the next class. So we will stop here till parapet and the doors and windows we are going to discuss what we can say is in the next class. Okay, so thank you very much. Thanks to all of you.